Ladies and gentlemen, as you well know, good guys wear white. And proof of this is the Lone Ranger, Lone Ranger, from the 1950s television series. He wore white, and he never lied about anything, except for something very simple, which most people aren't aware of. He was a stone-cold 33rd degree Mason. And I know that sounds out of the ordinary for something for me to say. You know, I would never accuse anybody of doing anything that they didn't do, but I was watching the Lone Ranger about a month ago, and he threw up enough high-ranking Masonic symbols in his videos, sometimes one or two that were noticeable outright, and some 4 or 5 that were not so noticeable, depending on your ability to see beyond what is shown. So in that case, good guys wear white, but he was a Mason, the Lone Ranger. Or the director of the show was certainly giving him instructions on Masonic hand signals. However, today's video, as you can see, I posted 3 times in the comment section about a man and his wife, his Filipino wife, who do videos in Spain. And this particular video that I posted the link to is his channel. So the gentleman's name is Grandadan, and his wife's name is Molly, and she's a Filipino. Now, the reason I'm giving them a shout out is because a few days ago, I hadn't seen him in a while. YouTube unsubscribed me from his channel. His nothing but upstanding and outstanding videos about Spain, for some reason they unsubscribed me from Grandadan and Molly's channel. So I don't think that's fair. The man is not political. He never talks about politics or religion. And he shows you a part of the world with some of the best editing that I've ever seen done on YouTube that is just truly magnificent. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this video upright, except for that Lone Ranger comment at the beginning, because the Lone Ranger, the show itself, was the 1950s proof that the people that run show business in Hollywood, even in the 1950s, were Masons. That's a fact. I could give you the names of the shows, but typically it's towards the last quarter of the show. But let's move on past that. Let's talk about Grandadan and Molly's videos of Spain. The latest video I watched is from a town called Santander, Spain. Now, this place, I did a lot of research on it, map-wise, to rent apartments there. Not that I ever want to live there. I would never want to live there. Way too far away from the ocean for me. And the water there is cold. But the views, the houses, and the mansions are spectacular. So it's not a normal place for world historical architecture or building structures, in that in most parts of the world, in the bigger cities and the older cities, there's a beautiful architecture structure here and there. But in this particular town in Santander, every building is beautiful. And the way the buildings are laid out, they carved plateaus or steps on the side of a mountain. So each level, there's a house built, and you can see the ocean from the house. Now, they do that all over the world, but this place has one magnificent mansion after the other. And to give you an idea for what it would cost to live in a place like this, which is just amazing, is $1,000 per square meter to buy a 2-room apartment. So a 100 square meter apartment is $100,000, in not with any view, no view. When you get into a house, the price per square meters of houses, and these are attached houses, start at somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 per square meter. However, when you get with a view of off the mountain that Santander City is on, the price of houses goes up into the multi-millions of dollars, $20 million, $30 million, $40 million houses. They're big, and underneath the house is another part of the mountain where the cars go into the garages under the mountain. There's like a door. It's like a James Bond movie. So this man, Grandadan, and Molly, they make videos of these towns in Spain. And not only does the man make videos of Spain, but what you see in the blogs are completely free of any debris on the street. You might see some leaves, because the last upload that Grandadan did and Molly did, it's in the fall, which made me think, the leaves fall in the fall. So did they call the fall and then say the leaves fall in the fall, or were the leaves falling the reason why they called fall? That's been bugging me for about 3 days, and I can't figure that out. So let me see if I even have a live stream. I do. I see a live stream. Dean Koch subscribed to the Grandadan channel, Grandadan and Molly channel. Yes, that's true. Most cops are also Masons, as are judges and lawyers. And here, if you throw up a Masonic symbol, if they are Masons, they forgot what the symbols meant. So it doesn't, just to test them. So not that it matters, because they don't have meetings, regular meetings like they have in the United States, where you have to practice every day. So anyway, in Grandadan and Molly's videos, you'll see these houses. I would guess that some of the houses are $50 million, but in the city of Santander, let me get the name of this right. It's hard for me to remember these new things. Santander, Spain. In the city, it's a city, and the buildings are between like 2 and 5 stories, 6 stories maximum. Some are a little bit taller, but most of them are and they're all buildings that were built. I don't think any of them were built after the 1950s, not in that city. Some, of course, are modern, but most of the bigger buildings will probably go between 80 and 120 years old. So it's a pretty cool channel that he has, and it shows you that a big city can have a big population, because there's a lot of dwellings, and zero garbage on the floor. You won't see a gum wrapper. In fact, on Grandadan's videos and Molly's videos, you won't ever see a gum wrapper or a cigarette butt, nothing. You'll never see it. I've never seen a piece of garbage in any of their videos. Plus, I don't know who does the editing, but their editing program and their ability to edit is amazing. So that was the reason for today's live stream. So I'm going to post the name of his channel and his link again And if you want to see what a beautiful city is, in today, this was a few weeks ago, in a modern environment, you should also notice on the tops of the buildings, there are none that you can see, or none that are noticeable, or none that I have been able to see. There are no cell phone towers on the tops of the buildings, which, when I went back to New York last year, just about every major 6, 7, 8-story building was from one parapet, just one side of the building to the other. The parapet wall were filled with antennas, sometimes 8 or 10 antennas on what was a house and now is a dentist's office. They might have 8 or 10 antennas because they probably get a rental income from them. But in the city of Santander, I've not seen a single radar tower on any of the buildings. So now I'm going to post that one more time, that link and his channel. Also wanted to point out, I have another note here. That the beaches are just as clean as the house, but the water in the beach, Grandadan and Molly explained to me that the water is cold. Now, I don't know what cold is, but he said it would be too cold to go in the water and stay there for more than a few seconds. And when you look at the beaches, you'll see people on the beaches sunbathing, but you won't see them in the water. So again, the prices of houses with no ocean view start at $4,000 per square meter. And the houses on the ocean or on the side of the mountain, I only saw one example. It was like $12 million. You can go online and look at the real estate prices, and it was $12 million for a house with the garage underneath. It was a pretty big piece of property, and it was something like 20,000 square feet. I'm probably not going to buy that. I might, you never know, but probably I'm not going to. So if I was to be, if someone said, Michael, I will let you live in that house for free, I wouldn't want to live there because it's too far from the water. But some people might. The view is spectacular, but it's just not a place I would want to live. But if you want to see what one beautiful place in the rest of the world looks like, this is the channel to go to. Because what this Grandadan and his wife Molly, Filipino woman, what they do is they go to a different town every time they have a few days off. They go to a different town with a different view, or what is called a vista, and they actually walk around and blog about what's there. And he finds some oddball, spectacular piece of architecture or something interesting, and you'll see it in the video from where he's blogging on the top of a mountain, and he goes, oh, that looks like a beautiful place to go. And then the next segment of the video is him in front of the building, probably as the crow flies 2,000 or 3,000 feet away, but by car or walking could be a couple of miles to get around and down and in and on the peninsula. And also he gives you what's in the town. Santander was a fishing village, so there's a lot of fish that you can go there, and people live on fish more than cattle. And there's a boat there, ferry that goes from Santander, Cantabria, Spain. I think he said it goes to England. I don't know what part of England. And he gives you the details in the description box as well. That covers the part of my blog, which is the positive part of the blog. Now, I was going to do a blog about Mr. Trump, Mr. Obama, the White House, the DOD, the Obama DOD, and what they have planned for you, but it's a little late, and I'm not real sure I want to do that. I don't really have the notes I want to get up on the board for that, but I have some questions for you to ponder between now and tomorrow. And you won't be able to answer them. No one is able to answer them. They should be, everyone should have the ability to answer these 2 or 3 questions that I'm going to ask you, but no one will have the ability. So let's digress back, let's say 10 years ago to the Obama administration and what the government had rolled out as part of their military arsenal